Hey guys, Better Glasgow here once again. Welcome back to my channel. Finally making a video about the review of Avengers Endgame. I seen it Thursday night, premiered here in my city. Full theater, and it's taken me a couple days to go review it, think about it. Cause you know me, I like to be honest, whether it be movie, news. I'm a comic book fan. Is it better than the Infinity War? Not really. Is it a good movie? Yes, it is. It's good, but my God, there are fucking plot holes. A lot of them. I've seen some reviews on this on YouTube, and I'm sorry, guys. I can't agree with them. Is it epic? Is it like a 15 out of 10? No. Is it good? Yes. Is it exciting to watch? Yes. But when you get back and think about it, and I was thinking about this while I was watching the movie, it's just not making sense. This can't, you got too much of a rush towards the end there. The final battle was a bit short for me. I think it was about 30 minutes. It could have been longer with all that fucking shit you had to wait for. Don't get me wrong, it was an emotional movie. And one of the things I like about going to a premiere is with the crowded theater, you get all the the applause, the yeses, the no's, the crying. There's crying. When some of the characters died, then the characters came back. I'm not going to go over all the good things because there's plenty enough of reviews on here that I'm sure you've seen. That goes over it. I'm going to go with what I disliked about the movie. And that's the fucking plot holes at the end. Okay, they first said, oh, they got some reviews. Oh yeah, they cleaned up all these plot holes and other reasons. No, they didn't. They cleaned up some. They made up more. They tried to explain their situation. After Thanos destroys the stones, they go back and do a heist. They're going to get the stones, bring it back. And I understand the point, but it wasn't explained thoroughly. You had to basically think on your feet and understand why. They said, oh, when we do the snap to get these guys back, we got to bring them back to this point 5 years after the original snap. Why? You don't have to do that. There's nothing in the law. The reason they gave didn't hold up to fucking water. Okay? You could have just brought them all back right after the snap because Thanos was gone. You could have done it after Thanos, what did he do? Snapped him away 23 days after the snap event. He snapped away the stones. You could have done it after he snapped away the stones. You could have brought him right back. Could have been a month later. They wouldn't have known. You're bringing them back anyway. The only reason to bring them back at the 5-year interval was to make sure Tony Stark's daughter remained alive. Which, again, still holds no fucking sense. Because even if he snapped the things back and brought the stones to the future after they've been destroyed, there's nothing Thanos could have done about it. And time goes on, you still got to imagine that Pepper Potts and Tony Stark are still going. They're still going to have that kid. They're still going to have that daughter. So this makes no sense. That was one plot hole. And then the ancient one tried to say, oh, this is a continuous line. But if you remove the stone, it creates a branch off of the stone. We're going to talk about time travel. And they try to say other movies were shit. But you still have to subject yourself to temporal travel as it is with physics and Einstein's theories and all that. Because some movies actually follow that shit. So the paradoxes are, first off, you killed the future nebula, killed the past nebula. Paradox there's the fact that if you kill the past nebula, how can the future nebula exist? You can theoretically say, okay, they share the same cyber network, and they're in the same time frame, so if she went back to where the old nebula was, you might be able to skip it past that way. It doesn't quite hold water. The other paradox. Tony Stark snaps Thanos and his army away. Presumably out of existence, the way it looks, since the snap was the ash, like Thanos did when he snapped and snapped people out of existence. We have to assume that he snapped them out of existence and not back to their own time. So if you're snapping them out of existence when they came to the future, using the particle tech, you now have another paradox, because if you snap the past Thanos out of existence, you no longer have the Thanos to keep going for the stones, which led up for the past 10 years, 10, 11 years, which doesn't lead up to the snap, which doesn't lead up to going back and getting the other stones, which means you can't snap them away. There's the paradox. There. Another paradox, which those two no one really caught. It's the one with Captain America, the other paradox he makes, which is more of a livable paradox than the other two I just mentioned. Which, when he goes to return the stones they stole from the past, go back to the exact point in time when Bruce promised the ancient one, that he takes them back, he decided to stay back in the 40s and the 50s. After he got frozen in ice. Now, he could theoretically be there because he's still frozen in ice. He goes, he marries, what's her name? Peggy. Which, they get married, presumably have children. Paradox there is, where was he all this time? Because he shows up as an old man, gives the shield to Falcon to become the new Captain America, which is good. But where was he during all this time? Was he behind the scenes with S.H.I.E.L.D.? Why did he not stop Hydra from infiltrating S.H.I.E.L.D.? There's a lot of paradoxes there. Does he let Zolo... I can't sit there and see Captain America not intervening in some of this issue. Now, I can contribute this one to some of them thinking about how we're going to do the future. Phase 4 is how Captain America fucked up the timeline and split the universe and get a multiverse where now you can get the X-Men in and, anyone from Fox, the Fox movie theaters, the Fantastic Four, X-Men. You could, give about that time you could start the mutant thing. You still have kind of a problem though with the Avengers. There was some good things. I mean, I'm glad they didn't abuse Captain Marvel. That was the biggest fucking thing I was worried about, that they were going to fucking bring Captain Marvel in. She got her ass handed to her by Thanos, thankfully. They had their fucking SJW moment with all women. That was okay. It didn't last long. They got their asses handed to them. But everyone got their asses handed to them by Thanos. But those paradoxes alone, makes me not, it's just like, you just do shit together. You tried to make up your own rules about time, which is okay. But then you fucked up your own time. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, the death of Tony Stark, we knew people were going to die, people's contracts coming in. Black Widow was a bit of a surprise with the death, but it was okay. Everyone's death kind of had meaning. I was surprised more didn't die. There's shit they could have done, like when Professor Hulk found out that Black Widow sacrificed herself instead of Ronin. I would have liked to have seen Hulk out, because they're building up a relationship between them in Age of Ultron. You'd have thought that hearing upon her death, especially mourning her for being back for 5 years, you'd have thought they would, and being Professor Hulk, they would have got together. Even though they kind of hinted that maybe Captain America and Black Widow had a thing going on, but I think they're just friends. Anyway, I would love to see the Hulk versus Thanos rematch. Professor Hulk would have gotten his ass kicked by Thanos, but I think this is where we could have seen Savage Hulk or Planet Breaker Hulk. Especially after he realizes Black Widow died for what was about to happen. Last battle was good. Pretty much the entire movie was okay, except for the paradoxes. And I can't just give a passing grade because it was a good movie. As an ending of 11 years of fucking work, you gotta put a capstone on it and make it make sense. Just like I was critical of the Infinity War, I liked that entire movie except they snapped away the wrong fucking people. That's why I didn't give it a 10 out of 10 there. I think I gave it an 8 or 9 out of 10. This one I have to give maybe an 8 out of 10. Okay? I would have loved if they didn't have all this paradox bullshit and tied it up good. I could have gave it a good beyond a 10. I could have looked past everything else. But it's the paradoxes that cause the problem. So this is not a perfect movie. Good movie, not perfect, and causes more problems than it solves. Until we see Phase 4, I have to put this movie in the column. And Infinity War is better than Endgame. And it's sad, because everyone thought Endgame... Did it live up to hype? Not really. What could you have done? Well, you could have... I watched a review today, and I can't remember the gentleman's name, because I was thinking the exact same thing in his video. And I agree with it. Why not stick Thanos in an infinity loop? You remember how Strange did Dormammu? Or instead of, and this is what really surprised me in Stark, where when he asked him away, this guy's a smart man. He knows there's going to be a problem. He knows he's got to be thinking about this time thing. He has to be figuring on how they're going to get rid of him. They're thinking about doing this and bringing everyone back, but he also had to figure out, okay, something's going to go on. I can't just ash them all away. What he should have done was, before the snap, went back and told maybe Thor to just lop off Thanos' head. As they hit him in the chest, they decapitate him or lop off his hand with the gauntlet to keep him from snapping. Take off the hand, then lop off the head. That would have prevented the snap. Then there is no paradox. Well, technically there is, because the stones don't go back. The best thing to stop the paradox is going back, stopping him from lopping up, going right back after the end of Thanos being decapitated by Thor at the beginning of the endgame, and bringing back everybody 30 days later. That creates no fucking paradox. Everything happens on course, with the exception of Thanos coming to the future. Now, with like the other gentleman, God, I wish I fucking could remember his damn name, so I could give him credit. But it was put young Thanos who came to the future back to his time and just loop it. So when he discovers this, when this loop goes on, because even if they go back in time, there's probably still going to have the problem of the nebula issue. Okay? Only as far as he can get, as he comes back to the future, gets zapped back, and everything progresses to where he is then decapitated by Thor. So that keeps your loop going, keeps your timeline fresh, keeps everyone coming back, so you don't have to skip the 5 years, which was bullshit, from being ashed. And then you can still have Captain America go back in time where he's the only fucking paradox. Okay? See, so they didn't think that part through. I mean, granted, you're just being Glasgow. You're being a fucking asshole. You're being a jerk. Why do you have to be so analytical? Well, I'm a fan too, but you gotta have this shit make sense. Okay? That's my complaint. Thankfully they didn't bring... The one thing I did have a problem with Captain Marvel was when they brought around, she's the only one that destroyed Thanos' ship. Bullshit. Where's the Wakandan Air Force? Why weren't they hitting that? Where was War Machine? Why was they hitting? I mean, they didn't show any parts of the movie where they were hitting that ship to give air cover on it. They were all hitting shit on the ground, which they needed, but shit. You got that big ass ship up there you could start causing damage to. No, Marvel comes in, goes through the fucking ship like she did in her fucking goddamn movie. Oh, look, oh, Daredevil is here. Da 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 da. And they made up for that for her getting her ass kicked by fucking Thanos when he takes the power stone and beats the shit out of her with it. Thankfully. I kind of corrected that. Because, yeah, if they brought in Captain Marvel and she just whipped the shit out of Thanos when the other one who had been seen doing that to Thanos was Thor, I'd been fucking upset, and I think people would have been walked out the goddamn theater. The other problem I have with this movie, no fucking end credit scene. Motherfuckers, you should have had a fucking end credit scene to start off Phase 4. Or anything, you could have just had some of those other scenes as an end credit scene, like when Cap gives his shield away. That would be a good end credit scene. Or when you have Thor going off with the Guardians of the Galaxy to find, again, the past Gamora. And there's another fucking paradox. Now I got the past Gamora. How can she be alive when the future Gamora is dead? Another paradox. So that's going to be part of Guardians of the Galaxy 3. That could have been another end credit scene. So, yeah, there's some issues with this fucking movie. Still a good movie. Not perfect. Could have been thought out a bit more. But yeah, I still would recommend you guys go see it, but just, be aware that it is not the perfect movie. So as I said, I'd give it a 7.5, 8 out of 10. But it's still a good movie. I would still recommend going and seeing it. It just doesn't end everything like it should. As you'd think a movie to end 11 years worth, a series of 20, that makes 22nd movie, 22 movies should be. Yeah, it kind of failed there. So, that's my opinion. What do you guys think? You know the drill. Go down below, like, dislike, comment, and subscribe. As always, you guys take care, and I'll see you all next time.